Today I'm going to show you guys how I built this tutor. I just built this week. It's similar to the one in my potager garden, but that one's 4 feet wide at the bottom and this one's about 2 feet wide at the bottom. So I'm going to kind of show what I did. I'm not going to get like ridiculously specific because yours probably won't be the exact same measurements as mine. It's not perfect, like look at that, but it's not the end of the world. You're gonna have plants growing on it. Some angles look good and then some don't look as good, so that's okay with me. It was just hard to do all the angles, so I did the best I could, but I will show you how I did it and you can kind of experiment with your own design.
I started with the 4 main posts. They're 2x2s that are 8 feet long, and I wanted them to be flat across the top, even though they kind of make a triangle. So I went ahead and adjusted my miter saw to 8 degrees, going in 2 different directions. And doing that, I was able to get them flat across the top like I wanted. I figured out this angle by using a triangle calculator online. If you just Google triangle calculator, you can find one very easily. And I just put in the 3 sides. So I put that I wanted it to be 2 feet across the bottom, and then that both of this vertical sides would be 7 feet. And then when you calculate, it tells you what the angles should be. So when it said that this bottom angle should be like 81.7, I knew that I just needed to take 90 degrees minus 8 degrees to get, about 82 degrees. I don't know if you can tell, but this is like the furthest point and this is like the shortest point. Then I marked every 24 inches for where the crossbars would be. And then I just started to lay out those crossbars and try to figure out the angles as best I could.
It took me a while to figure this out, but I have this set at 45 degrees. And then I still have it tilted to 7 or 8 degrees. And then I'm also using this little wedge, which I made using the tilt. So this in theory is 7 or 8 degrees. This is just an example, but I'm cutting it standing up. I'm doing my wedge for the first cut. The wedge is going down. And I'm gonna cut, so you can see it's kind of tilting that way, just the tiniest bit. And I'm gonna cut down here, this side. Then I'm gonna flip it. The wedge is gonna go on top. And I'm gonna cut the other side. If you don't want to mess with the tilt and the wedge and all of that, just do a 45-degree angle and it'll be good enough. Don't overthink it. I used 1 5/8 inch screws to screw the more flat pieces into the 2x2s. Since I didn't have a second set of hands, I had to get creative and use the chairs to hold it up.
So I ended up spending $57 on this project. However, the 2 boxes of screws were $20 of that. So if you're doing multiple trellises, that's something that you only have to buy once. So that would leave you at about $37 per trellis. The post cap, there was the little square piece, and then there was the piece that I screwed into the top. I can't tell which is which from the receipt, but one of them was $6 and one of them was $9. And so then the rest would have been spent on the wood. I used 1 1/4 inch screws to screw the 2 flat pieces together here. So the vertical piece being screwed into the crossbar, and these are 1x2s. This is where this is gonna sit for now. I do want to paint it. I cut back that salvia so that I could set it here for now. I don't know what I'm gonna grow on it yet. So, you know, there's a lot of unknowns. I also don't know what color I want to paint it. I do want to paint it and not stain it. The one in the potager garden is stained, so I don't know. Do you guys have an opinion on that? Will it look bad to paint it instead of staining it? I'm wanting like a bright color. Like I'd love to have like turquoise, but not sure how that would look with the house. I might bury it a little bit. I know it looks kind of big and imposing here, but I don't think it will be. I do want something with more height. One thing I'm realizing as I'm doing these tours is that I need more screening plants, because always you're seeing work trucks and cars and everything. And the reason that I haven't planted those bigger trees is because then I'm gonna have shade and all the plants are gonna be shaded. So I'm trying to come up with a plan. This is the west side, so these plants all get a lot of sun in the afternoon, and I don't want to take that away, but I do want to have a screen, so I'm not really sure what the solution is, but this will give me a little bit of height. And I also have trees in here that if they get big, they will screen. So I have, this is a magnolia here to the left of the Tutuer. It's a stellar magnolia with white flowers. And then I have this blue spruce. It wasn't labeled, right? It was like a Christmas pot, and so it may get big or it may not, but I was assuming it would get big. And then I have the blue point juniper. So, I mean, if all of those get to full size, I should have some screening, but it sure is taking its time. This will give me some height for now, and if anybody has suggestions on what plant to grow on it or what color to paint it, I would love some suggestions. I do know that a lot of the vining plants need thinner things to coil around, and so in the past I've done some wire on my other Tutuer just to help some things that need, you know, like clematis need something thinner to twine around. So that's always an option. Thanks for watching. I hope that I gave you enough details that you could build one on your own. Good luck. And remember to subscribe if you don't want to miss any future projects.